Hi, I'm Christian with Naya Clinics, and this is social distancing or social anxiety. This novel coronavirus is a dark cloud that seems to be sweeping through the world, causing much confusion, chaos, destruction, and disconnection. Extroverts seem to be having a much more difficult time with this than their introverted counterparts. As we take time away from our work and other social activities, it can be relaxing, recharging, and an overall refreshing change of pace. Of course, it may be nice to escape the status quo and the hustle and bustle of our typical lives, but does the thought of going back into the workplace give you an unsettling feeling? Do you dread the thought of having to once again interact with your managers, coworkers, or customers? Are you just keen to practicing safe social distancing, or is it really just social anxiety? Social anxiety is crippling. It comes from a place of mistrust and can lead to fear of others and uncertainty about outcomes of situations. What are some of the causes of social anxiety, and what are some ways to combat it? I will discuss that a little further here. Vulnerability is a quality that involves being open, transparent, and authentic. This is a fear for many people. We fear vulnerability to avoid being hurt, judged, or embarrassed. Ironically, when we accept our natural human vulnerability, we are able to build more meaningful connections with others. Not only that, but also, people generally tend to be more accepting than we might believe them to be, contrary even to our previous experiences. Fear of failure causes immense anxiety. Fear tells us this won't end well, and we base this assumption on our past experiences. Truthfully, we don't know how certain events in our lives will work out. We can only try to predict them. In the famous words of American psychologist Dr. Irvin Yalom, the best way to stop a catastrophe from happening is to predict it. Instead of assuming things won't end well, try preparing for these social situations through practice and research. Familiarize yourself with social expectations and provide yourself with a lot of positive self-talk. Finally, fear of the unknown is another reason why social anxiety seems to take a foothold in our lives. When we don't know exactly what to expect, we go into fight, flight, or freeze mode. Fear can be immobilizing. It can cause us to be stagnant in our relationships, careers, and overall personal growth. By exposing ourselves to and becoming familiar with the things that frighten us, over time, they simply become less frightening. Taking that first step is usually the hardest part.
So you fly and you go up to 14,000 feet and somebody opens the door, and in that moment you realize you've never been in a freaking airplane with the door open. Terror, 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 terror. And then people start going out of the airplane. And the guy walks you up to the end of the thing, and you're standing and your toes are on the edge and you're looking out down to death. They say on 3. 1, 2, and he pushes you on 2 because people grab on 3. And you fall out of the airplane, and in 1 second, you realize that it's the most blissful experience of your life. You're flying. There's zero fear. You realize that the point of maximum danger is the point of minimum fear. The lesson for me was, why were you scared in your bed the night before? What do you need that fear for? Everything up to the stepping out, there's actually no reason to be scared. And then in that moment, all of a sudden, where you should be terrified is the most blissful experience of your life. And God placed the best things in life on the other side of fear.